a part within us that we hide from the rest of the world, a part that is more basic and instinctive and animalistic and primal, you know. And I think that I've been more in touch with my desires, my deepest subconscious desires in the last years, and I feel somehow a little more free and therefore happier. I feel a little more individualistic. You know, I've acquired a certain freedom to express myself through my music, through my videos, through my own life. And yes, I think this album, or She-Wolf in general, well, this album, first of all, has been written, I think, with less prudeness. Also from the perspective of a woman, from a very feminine perspective, I think. And it must be because I grew up, I feel more like a woman now, and also more in touch with that other side of my nature that is a little more raw and wild, and, and I'm just letting it out so it can breathe. Well, I feel more like the owner of my own life, you know? The owner of my own decisions. And I try to listen to my own desires a little more. I always thought that I was. And I think I was pretending that I was listening to myself. Now I ask Shakira what she wants. I say, okay, Shakira, little Shakira inside, what do you want, you know? And I try, and at least I'm on a path to try to please that other voice inside of me that asks me for certain things, you know. And maybe sometimes because of my work or because of the speed in which I was living my life, I wasn't paying that much attention to. You know, I think that culture, the culture that embraces us, offers us so many opportunities and shapes our lives and our personalities, but at the same time sometimes limits us, you know, and gives us a tunnel vision, and it narrows our minds. And society imposes so many limitations on us, not only on women, on each one of us. And you know, and I find that this life is so brief, this existence is so brief, and we spend our time building cages, you know, and being trapped in those cages. And I don't know, I think that in order to be happy, we have to break free from all that.
I've been devoting myself to you Monday to Monday and Friday to Friday. Not getting enough retribution or decent incentives to keep me at it. I'm starting to feel just a little abused like a cup.
You know, I did gymnastics when I was younger, when I was a child, for a couple of years. So I guess some of that flexibility remained in me a little bit. And I wanted to show another facet to my way of moving and dancing. You know, I wanted to explore new moves, and this is what this song sort of inspired me to. First of all, I'm not a professional belly dancer. I grew up in a country where there are many different influences. In the Caribbean, where I was born and raised, there is a huge African culture rooted within our own Colombian culture. So the music is so heavily influenced by many different folklores, like African folklore, and also because of my heritage, I'm half Lebanese. You know, I guess that's in my DNA. So I got some of the moves from the typical classical belly dancing style, but I'm not a professional belly dancing. I'm not a trained dancer. You know, I think I only have one body for this life I have to live, but with this one body I got and 4 limbs, I have lots of possibilities, and that's what's fascinating about dance, and that is really a universe and you can express so many sentiments, so many emotions through your body, because it is a wonderful instrument. And that's how I see it. I see my body as another instrument, just as I see a guitar, or as I see a piano, or drums. You know, I think my body can express just as much. You know, I'm not very rational when it comes to look changes, or it's not a decision that I submit to a group of counselors. You know, it's not that I meet every Friday with consultants about my image or anything like that. So it's not that. It's really something organic. You know, I feel that my career, throughout my career, I've been really, really honest. You know, like everything I do is because, or everything you see me doing, you know, in my videos, or everything I write, everything I write about, or everything you see about me out there is because I felt it. It's just something that comes from within. It has nothing to do with the way I want to project myself or nothing like that. It's just spontaneous, I guess. So this time around I said, hey, I never showed my legs in the past, so well, they're not too bad. They're kind of short, but they take me to places. So I said, you know, let's show the legs. So that's what I did. I felt it, and I did it in my video. Probably 10 years ago, I would have not felt exposing my legs, so I would have not done it. And that's why I never did it, actually. But I guess it has to do with the fact that you're growing up and you feel more confident with yourself, and that is the good thing about growing, I guess, growing up, you know, that you just start accepting yourself the way you are. And you think, hey, what you see is what you get. I mean, you can improve things here and there, but this is it, you know, and you start loving yourself, you start at least liking yourself, and accepting yourself, and I think that has a lot to do with the way I'm expressing through my videos, and the way I move. It's all correlated. When I was 8 years old, my parents went bankrupt. My dad lost everything he had. We lost both our cars, we lost our furniture, we lost everything. We had really a financial reverse that was very, somehow, traumatic for me. You know, I was 8 years old, and I remember stepping into my house, and all the furniture was gone, the air conditioning was gone, the television, everything we had. So that day, my dad and my mom took me to the park to show me another reality that was much more tragic than mine, and it was the reality of many kids who lived in that park, orphans, sniffing glue to deal with the tragedy of their lives. So I guess that caused or left such a mark in my impressionable mind that I decided that day, and I remember this vividly, that if someday I succeeded, that I wanted to succeed, first of all, because I wanted to vindicate my parents' situation, their economic and social position. But I decided that if I ever succeeded, I wanted to do something about those kids that were barefoot and that were sniffing glue in the park, and that I still remember like if it was yesterday. So when I had my first international success with Pies Descalzos, my album, I think I was already thinking about those kids who were barefoot in the park. And then I decided to establish my foundation and call it Barefoot.